Reading to grandchildren. Grandchildren sit on either side, small warm bodies touching mine, heavy heads against my arm. I choose the book their mother loved. There was a funny little man, and once upon a time. Without warning, my throat constricts, breast throbs, eyes fill, remembering. Silky curls against my cheek, starfish fingers on the page, highlight voices. Who is that? What happened next? And why? They're long gone now to secret lives they read to children of their own. Still from a daughter's letter home. How I'd love to hear Mom reading in the evening one more time. It's her children who are here with me, small warm bodies, heavy heads, and I read on and on. I don't want them to move, I never want to stop. There was a funny little man, and once upon a time. In the little town where I grew up, there were some abandoned farms around, and we liked to go out and poke around them and kind of imagine what lives might have been lived there. This is called White Springs. Out the old road on our bikes in chilly April, a scraggly slope of pears in bloom, the gray day's light caught in scanty white. Silence on the hilltop, shallow water cellar hole and chimney crumble, a door sill moldered into ghost, a narcissus clump beside it, overgrown and spotty white. A woman could have stepped across that sill into the smooth swell of the evening, dishes done, babes bedded, first push of sparkle through dark blue. Look down the hill to watch tiered billows light themselves to white, then to the clutch of white beside her feet, swung between whites, intense fragrance coursing through her. She must have sorrowed for the pear trees when the old truck turned the final corner. She could have dug her white clump, wrapped its root ball for the trip, or brushed the soil away and bagged the bulbs. I wonder if she left it a sister to the pears so they could join the orphan scents of April on the slope. Beside the sill, swing a mother moon between thin whites. The gatekeeper. Do you remember, brother, the pasture gate Grandpa creaked wide on dewy mornings to lead Molly through, bell clanging, left haunch right. Mother insisting one of us attend each time the stern old German father she never spoke to. We girls silent and scared as she when our turns came. You, male and sure of welcome, going with a smile. Do you remember hanging on the fence, long cornfields rustling green off to the west, and to the east, the early freight train pluming, whistling down the dawn on far-on pass. Up north, the Sulphur Creek festooned both sides with elderberry bushes. The Rumble Bridge, the Sneeboys' horses pulled their wagon over, then up to the farm we'd never seen inside the great blue bowl of hills. Gentle brother, 3 months ago, slow bells tolled you through the gate we'd long pretended wasn't there. And you went unafraid. I see you waiting, smiling, gate held wide for sisters leaving fences, one by one. We were given an assignment to write a letter poem. So mine is called A Letter to Two Babes to Be. Floating plump and perfect up there in the ether, waiting to be plucked by parents planning on a child this year or next. Lucky kids for each, a mom and dad stuffed with good looks, good health and education, jobs and oh, such good intentions. Be patient firstborns while your planners get their acts together. Patient when you first arrive with your first parents, 2 a.m. in Emness. That day to come, our up in heavens will shout, Alleluia, Alleluia. We down here pop champagne in pink and blue, or blue, and text and Google. 3 generations rush to claim your noses, yells, brains, dispositions, eyes most likely blue and merry. Part of us, we part of you, you two to be. Can't wait. Great Granny Kay and Uncle Bob. And this Uncle Bob, when we had our first grandchild, thought he was too young to be a grandfather, so he called himself Uncle Bob. And now I'm talking about my great-grandparents, and he's still Uncle Bob. We were on Padre Island when we saw pelicans pass. A noon beach empty, sun-held swept, sea oats golden down the dunes, flail, rise with lusty gusts. Surf thumps hard on waiting sand, receives a heavy hiss. Then swift and sudden from the north, a dark, untidy line. 5 brown, big beating pelicans against horizon haze. Just to our left they aligned themselves, slide into a silent glide, coast by in dappling symmetry. Majestic, outspread wings held still, long beaks skimming creamy crests. Deep in the bone, sea, rain and zephyr, drop and fiery ray, a perfect knowing, each of each. Dear Lord, could I take part? And finally, a few words from that snake. That snake. I'm not entirely sure I've earned or like my status as pariah. You've heard that suspect tale about some greedy woman and an apple, I expect. But just watch this. A casual flex of muscle and my whole length forms an S shape as I glide. Now, isn't that a lovely motion? And my colors. Green as springtime grass or rosy coral striped with black. Even dull brown rattlesnakes are diamonds from their flat heads, lethal, I admit, down to those courteous rattles. Still, to see horror rise in human eyes when I shift my head or flick my tongue or drape myself serenely from a branch, I think I'd miss that if I were a soft-eyed doe relying on appeal. Or a chipper, merely pretty bluebird. Power is addictive, is it not?